Sawadee Krap, I'm JP Mestanza. Welcome to this Tuesday, February 8th edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by ppcphuket.com. High-level discussions are set to begin with leaders from Thailand, China, and Malaysia about setting up a travel bubble scheme to attract more foreign visitors to the region. The details of the possible travel bubble agreement will be discussed between Thailand's foreign ministry and China's Minister for Culture and Tourism this week, with more talks to be held later this month with leaders in Malaysia. The arrangement would mean that tourists don't have to quarantine upon arrival, but other regulations and special protocols would be put in place for them, which would regulate the kind of visa to be used, the types of accommodations to be booked, and which flights to take. There would also be a cap on the number of visitors allowed to visit Thailand under the travel bubble scheme, and tourist movements would also be limited to specific areas. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Tourism and Sports predicted that the number of visitors under the resumed Test and Go scheme will rise to 60,000 between February and March, which is peak high season here in Thailand. All of this comes a day after the Public Health Ministry announced plans to propose a relaxation of COVID restrictions nationwide, as about 85% of those who test positive for COVID here in Thailand are asymptomatic, and most are self-isolating at home, according to health officials. Friday's CCSA meeting in Bangkok will see the Prime Minister consider which restrictions would be eased so that more activities can resume within the kingdom. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The Royal Thai Police are bringing in the big boys to investigate who was behind the cold-blooded killing of a foreign national on Friday night at a beachfront villa in Rawai. Jimmy Sandhu, who also previously identified as Mandeep Singh, was shot multiple times after parking his car at the hotel and villa in southern Phuket at about 10:30 p.m. on Friday night. A cleaner found his body the next morning with 10 bullet wounds, and while police initially believed he was a Canadian citizen due to his multiple IDs, Canadian authorities actually stripped him of his Canadian nationality following a string of criminal activities in 2016, much of which was gang-related, including human trafficking, drug operations, and violent crimes. He was later arrested in his native India for running a large ketamine factory, but posted bail and disappeared until last week and remains a fugitive in that country. Now, National Police Chief Police General Suwat Yangyot-suk is here in Phuket to supervise the investigation personally. According to Royal Thai Police, the killing is likely connected to conflicts between rival gangs in Canada. The two suspects, who police say are likely foreign nationals, are being sought, noting they were captured on a security camera following the attack. Police here on the island have set up 20 separate teams to chase down the assailants, with the investigation taking them all across the island, especially the southern coast. Stay up to date with this story on thephuket.news.com. Quality guaranteed since 2012. Call M & Painting today. A man sitting in the backseat of a car was launched out of the vehicle when the car wiped out at high speed on Tepkasatri Road early on Sunday morning, with two others also hurt. The accident took place about 500 meters south of the Heroines Monument at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday. Witnesses say the car in question, a white Honda Jazz, was driving at high speed when the driver lost control, spun wildly, hitting guardrails, and eventually hit a power pole, which sent one of the passengers, Sirawat Pumirak, flying out of the car, his head hitting a pot plant in front of a shop. The driver suffered chest and head injuries, while the front seat passenger, a female, suffered injuries to her left leg. All three were taken to Talang Hospital, but police are continuing to investigate before moving forward with legal proceedings. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Multiple spy cameras were found in women's bathrooms at the Australian Embassy in Bangkok, according to Aussie officials, and they say it's all from a former staffer. The Royal Thai Police arrested a local former staff member in December, according to officials from Australia's Foreign Affairs and Trade Department. The embassy filed a complaint against the man on January 6, according to local police, And while it was unclear how long the cameras had been in the women's restrooms there, the whole thing came to light when the SD card of one of the cameras was found on the bathroom floor last year, according to ABC Australia. The news comes the same week as a former Lieutenant Colonel of the Royal Thai Navy, Kyatikon Mangkang, admitted that he installed hidden cameras above the ceiling boards of a women's restroom at the Queen Sirikit Naval Hospital in Chonburi Province. The cameras were connected to his desktop computer in his office. He said they were placed there in 2015, so he's been doing this for 7 years. When officials searched his computer, they found over 4 terabytes of hard drives with thousands of clips of women using the restroom, including officials, trainees, and even visiting family members. One clip even caught him adjusting the camera. In January, 23 women filed complaints with provincial police about the camera in the restroom, and it's unclear how and even why this went unnoticed for so long. Kyatikon was arrested and charged with indecent acts against minors and sexual harassment, among other charges. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday edition of Phuket Extra, brought to you by pbcphuket.com. Join us again tomorrow on Wednesday. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks and mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.